All right, so there's so much happening around the electricity crisis. We are still sitting in very intense levels of load shedding. We're alternating between stages 4 and 5. We are hearing interesting words coming from Davos in Switzerland. Our finance minister suggesting there is going to be an economic plan for Eskom. And of course, on a local level, we're seeing city authorities here in Johannesburg, City Power, basically saying pay up or stay in the dock. A very strong message to those who are defaulting on their power bills. Let's now bring in Heidi Giokos. So Heidi, it's a really interesting story because the money is such a massive issue for Eskom. Eskom, of course, puts pressure on authorities like City Power, who need to pay them for the electricity they buy. So there's a bit of a concertina before it gets back to Eskom. But it's very interesting what happened in the city today. Just tell us all about it.
Yes, so we do know that City Power is embarking on a almost campaign to try and get big businesses to pay what they owe City Power. So for the electricity that they use every single month, they want these businesses to pay City Power, and this doesn't seem to be happening. There were a number of businesses, including government departments, that were visited today in Alex, and about 2 businesses. It was one construction company and the other was actually a church that were cut off because the one construction company owed City Power, or owes City Power 2 million rand, and the church owes City Power over 700,000 rand. There was also a college, a government college, that owed also almost 1 million rand, but they made the payment yesterday, so they weren't cut off. What was interesting, though, is that while City Power was cutting off the church, they went opposite the road and they established there was an illegal connection at another church, and next door a block of rooms, or a hostel, was also illegally connected. And the city is at pains to try and recover and recoup all this money, because just in the Alex area they are trying to recover over 300 million rand.
Just in Alexandra?
And nearby areas. So in Lyndhurst, Kew, and all those areas in and around Alex, they are trying to recover over 36 million rand. And overall, they're looking at 363 million rand in that area. So it's a very big number, and the city says it's about 4 billion rand in total that businesses, residents, and whoever else owe the city, and they are in financial distress because of the load shedding and because of the vandalism and theft that's happening, and this is why they need to embark on this aggressive campaign. Let's listen to City Power's spokesperson, Isaac Mangena.
So basically we are, as the city, going under difficult financial times, as you know, and City Power also, due to load shedding, we are losing a lot of money, we are losing a lot of revenue because of the infrastructure that is affected by load shedding. Mini substations, we are losing mini substations at a very high rate. Every day they blow up. We are losing cables, they are getting stolen every day. So we need to replace all of that. So for us to be able to do that, we need to start collecting revenue. And that's why we are basically embarking on this aggressive revenue collection program, which will basically ensure that we go out after the 4 billion rands that is owed to City Power by the residents of the city of Johannesburg.
You know, if I think of my own electricity bill, the very few occasions that I haven't paid it.
Sally?
No, look, one when I was a new mum and it was chaos, so that's my excuse. But within hours, I was cut off. You know, it just happens like that. One wonders how these businesses get away with it for so long. I'm sure you tried to ask them why they didn't pay, why they weren't paying. Did you actually get any satisfactory answers?
Yes, the one business, the construction business that owes 2 million rand, we asked him why he has not paid, and he says he has paid, and he says that he pays about 10,000 rand a month for electricity, but he says there's a pre-existing bill. When he started renting out this property, there was already an existing bill, and he says the matter is in courts. But according to Isaac Mangena, he says that's not the case, and they have been trying for months to try and get this business to pay. When we tried to ask the church, they've indicated that they have paid, but they were unable to provide any sort of proof. We got some interaction from the construction company owner or manager, and this is what he had to say to us. So do you claim that you don't owe them 2 million rand?
No, we don't.
So how come their records show that you owe them 2 million?
Because we don't know where they've been getting the readings from. Previously, they were billing us for a meter that wasn't on this property, right? This was after about 2 years, they took that meter off, they put this meter on.
So what will it mean if they cut your electricity? What will it do to your business?
We will have 30 employees. They won't have any jobs.
All right, so City Power's on a mission, 4 billion in total from the city that is owed to them. Interesting what's happening on a bigger scale. We know that Eskom's severely under pressure financially. Some interesting messages coming out of Davos, where the World Economic Forum is gathered, from our finance minister. Some suggestion that load shedding will be over in 18 months. I mean, I do not know why any minister will put their head on the block on this particular issue, because it seems to come back and haunt everyone. But also he's spoken a little bit about the debt and offering Eskom some assistance. Last week you were at a breakfast ahead of Davos and you actually got a bit of an insight. Tell us more.
Yes, so the Finance Minister, Heidi Giokos, said that they are at pains to try and clear the balance sheets of Eskom, and he indicated that there's going to be a big announcement when the budget speech is announced closer to the end of Feb. And he indicated that the debt that Eskom is sitting with, which is over 400 billion rand, is something that government needs to perhaps try and clear. And I think it's interesting that the finance minister possibly could have made the comments that load shedding will be over with in 12 to how many months?
12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months. And whether or not he's linking that directly to government finding a way to clear that debt. We do know that Eskom is in the process of unbundling, if that's the word, and they are trying to find a way to separate the different entities within Eskom. But Sally, at the end of the day, is that going to be the solution to load shedding? What exactly are they going to do?
Yeah.
And it just seems as though the president is not there because he's engaging with stakeholders. What he's engaging with stakeholders on, because we know what the problem is. There's constant rolling blackouts. What is the solution? And the finance minister is telling world leaders, well, you know, we're going to see an end to load shedding, but how? What's the solution?
Yeah.
Clearing their debts is one thing, but keeping the lights on is another. And what's interesting is, I will never forget this, it was about 2 years ago when I did an interview with the CEO of Eskom, Andre de Ruyter, at one of their financial annual results. He told me that in 12 months we'll see the end of load shedding, and 2 years later we're in the worst situation ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, no one say anything about when it's ending. Let's just try and fix it quickly. Thank you so much, Heidi Giokos. And of course, after 7 o'clock, we will speak to Chris Yelland and get the very latest on the electricity crisis.